ever crossed your mind that perhaps there's some things that you can do to avoid certain content writing blunders? If it has, then today that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Hello everyone, my name is Sumetha Chatterjee and I'm a digital marketer. I'm author of the blog Digital Marketing Conclave and founder of the Women in Marketing Networking program. In my blog, I talk about interesting things about content and I hope that you'll find something that catches your fancy. But today, specifically talking about 5 content writing blunders that you should be avoiding. The first blunder is not writing original content. Now you'll think that perhaps this is pretty obvious and most people would be steering clear of this blunder, but no. You'd be amazed to see that how many people do not pay attention to original content, not creating content that is authentic. And why this is so? Maybe because they are juggling with too many content deadlines, or they think that perhaps it's okay and they would perhaps the readers wouldn't catch that this particular content is not original. All things said and done, this is not something that is going to be accepted for a very long time. Marketers and writers do not realize how much of their professional reputation they are putting at stake just by taking certain shortcuts when it comes to creating original content. This is one thing that will certainly impact your credibility as a writer, and one thing that you should definitely take care about. At some point of time, it appears that perhaps there is too much to do when it comes to creating original content, but worry not. You can gradually build up your skills in this area, and this comes by gaining the expertise or by gaining the skills in doing research. So in case you're thinking of writing an article around a particularly dense topic, for example health tech, then you should definitely be consulting cited or well acknowledged publications in this, or perhaps articles or key opinion leaders and influencers, and then only should you write something which reflects your perspective, and that itself will gain you tremendous respect and credibility amongst your target audience. The second blunder that you should steer clear of is not writing user-centric content. Again, this would seem like it is already acknowledged fact, but it is not. You'd be amazed to learn that many people still write with the perspective of consuming the content themselves. Marketers and writers need to get out of their own ways. They need to get out of their own way while writing an article. For example, if you are writing an article for financial planning for teenagers in the age of 13 to 17, so that will need a very different language and treatment than perhaps someone like you or me who are considerably advanced in their careers and who have the expertise to understand a certain language. So always try to be in the shoes of your target audience when you are writing content. Third thing that you should do is to steer clear of clickbaity headlines. I can't stress this enough. There are many websites, and I'm sure that has happened to you as well, that we land onto a website thinking that, hey, this is probably going to give me the content that I need, or this is probably going to help me with the problem that I have, and then you find that it is not matching the headline and you quickly exit the website. And this is exactly what is going to happen with you if you use clickbaity headlines, that at some point of time people are going to exit your website because they don't find that the content that they were looking for, the content there is not useful. It's going to impact your bounce rate, your website's bounce rate, and it is definitely going to drive your readership down. That is not something that we want. So we should always write headlines which reflect or which are very well tied into the content that we are writing. And one way of doing this is to talk from a challenge versus benefit perspective. For example, 10 ways to do this, 5 ways to solve a particular problem, and I have written a couple of blog posts in my blog around this, what kind of content formats need what kind of headline treatment. You may want to go through that. I'll leave a link in the description box below. The next blunder that people make is writing poorly edited content. Now, in this day and age, writing poorly edited content is just not acceptable. And I'm not even talking about fancy editing. I'm talking about basic grammatical mistakes. And these are some mistakes which are easily addressable, easily corrected. If you can, you should take a subscription of Grammarly. If you cannot, there is a free version that you can use as well. If you still don't want to go into the entire loop of buying some editing or grammatical software, then you can just use the spell checker on a computer. But check you must. And the last challenge, the last thing that I feel that you should definitely steer clear of is writing boring content. Now, people think that just because it is enterprise marketing or B2B marketing, so the content itself has to be boring in nature. That's not the case. People reading the content are humans, and they respond to content that is conversational in nature. So whether it's fintech or it's health tech or it's any other area which you feel is not as exciting and glamorous as perhaps fashion or e-commerce, give it the treatment that that would entice you to read, that would entice your audience to read, and I'm sure that it will come out markedly better than what you had written previously. Having said that, I write a blog on digital marketing, and where I talk about all things content, interesting ideas about content marketing. Do follow my blog if you feel that it adds value. In case you found my video interesting, then do follow my YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much. Bye bye.